Hello, and welcome to Composer Chatter, where the musicians of the Del Sol String Quartet sit down and talk about music and anything else with the composers that we love. If you'd like to learn more, check out our website, delsolquartet.com, or find us on social media at Del Sol Quartet. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. I'm here with deVon Gray, one of the incredible composers that is part of our inaugural Composer Incubator. And it's just so wonderful to see you and get to hang out. How are you, deVon?
I am good. Today I am good. It's a question that I like is it's time sensitive. So in this moment, I am good.
I totally agree. It really is. And if it's okay, I'd love to sort of just jump into the conversation that we were having before we started recording, sort of about how we find expression in music. And it sort of relates to time sensitivity. The idea that like expression can happen in sort of like storytelling time, or it can happen in real time. And that, music has this sort of incredible quality to take us away from our sense of time, but that sometimes the best thing or the most needed thing or the most interesting thing can be to really ground us in the moment. Um, I don't know. How do you think about this stuff when you're composing? Is this something that's in your mind?
I always think about the journey of the work. So yeah, it is what we're doing is crafting time in a sense. That's the thing that we're either fighting with, fighting for, fighting against, or in some sort of a tussle. Um, so second to that, what I'm thinking about is the emotional content, the emotional story. Like, what am I trying to communicate? What am I trying to say? Um, so yeah, I mean yeah, those things are always with me. Always thinking about those things.
Yeah, totally. How do you translate that stuff, do you think, into music? I mean, how do you specifically? That's a big question. We all spend our whole life trying to do this, right? But I don't know. Where are you at with it right now?
With it right now, I feel like it's a game of it is what I say it is. So if I'm sitting at the piano and improvising and I'm trying to tap into a certain emotion, I'll say it out loud. I'll say it inside my head and try to steer my energy in that direction. And I want that G minor chord or that G major chord to bend to the will of that emotion, and it somehow finds a way. We know there are notes between the notes, and there are ways to bend things and to move around, but yeah, it's really us that changes or needs to change or shift. It's us that provides the emotional content. The music's fine. It's gonna do what it do.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot actually. And in the context of music and also in the context of like other sorts of storytelling. I heard somewhere that while I was reading about this, your mind's eye, like the imagining part of your brain, when you activate it in a certain way, it activates the same neurons as the ones that you have when you actually form a memory. So the way that you remember things that are really clear in your mind's eye like that are the same about than as as an actual memory in real life. Um, it's something that I've been thinking about, especially when I think about improvising, because in the context of improvising, what I'm really trying to do, and like you say, is listen and be in the moment and tell a story. And the more vivid I think my imagination is, the better I feel about what I'm saying, the more I think I hope I'm conveying. Uh, I love that feeling.
I also love that feeling. And there's so much that is um, ephemeral and hard to put into words. We don't know what it is. We're just, yeah, we're just expressing and we're feeling, and we know that we're finding answers.
Totally. And I love that the sense of looking for answers is really what we're doing.
Hmm.
This
It can
actually
be,
brings me. Oh yeah.
I'm saying it can be a direct musical question. I love to think about Samuel Barber, who was someone who loved to pose musical or pose questions to himself and solve it musically. Um, but it can be abstract. For me, I love the more abstract because minds are weird spaces, and I feel like the more we try to express what dreams are and the dreams that we have, the better we get to accessing the real math of the universe.
I can certainly confirm that my mind is a weird space.
Same.
So I'm really glad that we're here because this is something that I really wanted to talk to you about, specifically because of our shared background in improvisation. And I can't tell you how excited I am that we're going to share a little bit of an improvisation later. But I was thinking about this earlier today. This line is uh, that is so constant. This relationship between improvisation and genre, uh, that we all get told about incredible virtuoso players of the 19th century who were improvising their own cadenzas on the concertos that we know and love. But the way that improvisation has continued in like classical music, which I sort of reject as a term, and I think all four of us in the quartet sort of reject as a term because musicians are more multifaceted at this point, and I think you have to be. But the relationship between improvisation and maybe like concert music um, is, I think, fascinating and difficult to pin down, but something that it seems like is really prevalent in your music.
Yeah.
What do you think about this relationship? Is that something that really enters your mind when you're creating?
It does. Um, Again, I always say it's not my original thought. I have no original thoughts, sadly. Everything's been thought. Um, that improvisation is composition in real time. Composition is improvisation slowed way down. Um, I mean, yeah, I feel sad about that loss of improvising in the music that classical music sort of drifted away from after the early part of the 18th, 19th century. We know Bach improvised like mad. We know Mozart could do that. We know Beethoven could do that. But I don't remember. I'm sure Chopin and all the list folks could do that, but I don't hear about that so much. It's just about the paper music, the written things, with the exception of cadenza moments. And then when we get into the 20th century, yeah, it was just people got a little too specific. They weren't asking players to improvise anymore. They just had their vision and they said, "Play this, please." Obviously, there are moments of people using improvisation and others in times and decades, but yeah, not a big relationship that I remember or that I've seen. Uh, in my in the now times, I feel like there's a good chance you're gonna be asked to improvise by a contemporary composer. Uh, we're just yeah, we're wanting folks to have more avenues for expression again and getting a way to bring you to the piece. So there's more of an exchange. Always a good thing.
And I think the more that we think about that exchange happening, even in the written music, like you say, if composing is improvisation slowed way down, it puts the performer in a seat where your interpretation can matter so much. Where where playing a composer's piece of music feels more like a collaboration than it does uh, anything else.
A homework assignment
Oh God, that's a worst case.
or an exam of some sort.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh, yeah, that's what it should be, a dialogue. Um, and I'm trying to get very not specific, but specifically vague in my program, not program notes, but in my performance notes that accompany pieces. I'm trying to, again, help people try to find a way into the piece and into an energy where they can take the piece and do more to it than what they see on the page.
Absolutely. Well, in that vein, uh, you want to play some music?
Yes, please.
Incredible. Well, it's great to talk to you as always. And yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this.